Alright everybody, we're getting ready for our second track day ever. Yesterday we took the bike in to get a new front and rear tire and then a new chain because the last one was starting to develop some hard spots. Today we're going to take the license plate off. We're going to tape up all the headlights, all the tail lights and brake lights, and then we're going to tape up the mirrors. I'm going to try to leave them on and just tilt them down and use them as wings. It's just a pain in the butt to take them on and off. We'll see. We'll see whether the tech inspection people will make us take them off. So we'll take the tools and everything else in case they do. But all right, I'm gonna get started on this stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright everybody, the bike is all taped up and ready to go. License plate's taken off. Everything should be good to go. Just need to pack up all the tools and then pick up the trailer and then hit the road. We'll be on our way to Birmingham sometime tomorrow afternoon-ish. Pro tip for people that load bikes up frequently. Before you load the bike up, go ahead and put all the straps in. And that way, when you load the bike up, you don't have to put the straps in working around the bike in the middle of the trailer. Alright everybody, welcome to Barber Motorsports Park. So one thing that I wasn't aware of, when you ride with Sport Bike Track Time, when you ride with that organization, they won't allow you to put a GoPro on your bike during the first couple sessions of the day, the sessions before lunch. I think they just want you to focus on learning the track and learning the braking markers, learning the lines, and following the instructors, making sure everybody's safe, rather than trying to get some cool video. So unfortunately what that means is that I wasn't able to film any of the first couple sessions, and I really wish that I could have. It absolutely downpoured for probably the first 3 or 4 sessions today. I mean, there's literally standing water on the track. I'm a relatively new rider, and so I maybe the grand total of probably 10 minutes of experience riding in the rain prior to this day. And so I was out on the track on new tires on a track I've never been to before, and it's just absolutely downpouring. So it was a pretty intense couple sessions, at least for me. Maybe not for everybody else, but for me, it was really wild. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys I was definitely not the fastest rider on the track that day. I might have probably been the slowest rider on the track that day. So this video is not going to be real crazy as far as just like flat out speed. But what I'm hoping to do is go through some of the laps and talk through some of the things I did right, some of the things that I did wrong, and some of the things that I'm going to try to work on going forward. And hopefully anybody who is thinking about doing a track day as a new rider can see some of the things that I'm doing wrong and kind of learn from that, or at least come to understand what they can expect from their first track day. So already right here, I'm not getting off the line as quick as everybody else, which means I kind of lose sight of them a little bit. And it means 2 things. It means that A, I can't really see the lines that they're taking, which probably would have helped me learn a little faster. And B, I'm kind of pushing the bike on the straight lines to catch up, which means I'm coming into the corners a little bit too hot. this point, you can see that the people in front of me are just walking away from me, and a lot of this is just confidence, being on the throttle, going through a corner while you're leaned over. That was like one of the biggest problems that I had all day long, was having the confidence to get on the throttle earlier while the bike is still a little bit leaned over, and then also a little bit of body positioning to help get the bike straightened up sooner after you get out of a corner, so you can get on the power sooner. And you can kind of see that here too, again, like hesitation getting back on the throttle. So this is another area that I can really work on improving. I can tell just by looking at the speed that I was not full throttle here, and there's plenty of room on this straight to go full throttle all the way. I'll give myself a little bit of a break here because this is one of the first dry sessions that we've had, but I could have done it a lot better. Here's another big area for improvement. You can see that I'm still in third gear. I really should have been in second gear for this corner, and I should have got on the gas sooner and got a lot better drive out of that corner. There's a lot of room. Should have kept going. I could have at least gone down to third gear, possibly even second gear. And that way, when I come out of the corner, I'm in a much better place to really get on the gas and drive out. This corner that's coming up gave me difficulty all day long. One of the things that I have come to realize, and you can kind of see when instructors do it there, is later apexing, right? Later turn in, because that allows you to stay on the gas longer, brake in a straight line, turn, and then once you've turned, get the turn over with, and then get back on the gas. So again, this is another one of those points where I didn't downshift as far as I should have. I should probably be in at least third gear here, maybe second. I think I'm in second later on in some of the faster sessions when I kind of pick up on this problem. And it makes it so much easier to get good drive out of this corner right here. So this is definitely one of the scariest corners on the track because it's a blind corner. You really can't see through the corner until you crest that hill. And so it took me a long time to realize that you can more or less just stay on the gas. You just have to have confidence that the corner is still there. So this is a great example of the two of the things we already talked about. One is being in the right gear, and the other one is that corner exit speed, getting on the gas while the bike is still leaned over. And I think, to me, in my head, I always think, don't add throttle while you're adding lean angle. And it's easy to conflate those with don't add throttle while the bike is leaned over. And you can add throttle while the bike is leaned over. The instructors are doing it all day, and they're walking away from me as a result. It's something I really need to work on. We do all right through the S's here, but again, as you can see, I'm still in fourth gear. I should probably be in third gear. And I think some of this comes down to the fact that I just don't know the track all that well, and I don't know the lines, and so I'm not confident that I'm on the right line. And so it's really a hesitance to go any faster when I don't know what's coming. So actually a perfect example of that right here, I'm way too far to the right of the track. I really should have been on the left side of the track, and as a result I cut that corner way sharper, which means that I go wide going into the next corner. The same thing's true here. I really should have been further over to the left and then had a later corner entry, and that would have allowed me to get back on the gas a lot sooner and get a lot better drive towards this front straight. One bit of advice that somebody mentioned to me earlier, you can see here I'm a little bit far to the right hand side. You can see that right there in the middle is is where all of the tire marks are. And sometimes those tire marks aren't necessarily from other bikes, it could be from other cars, and they might take a different line. By this point, we're a couple sessions into the day. Most of those tire marks are from the bikes in front of me. If you look at where most of those tire marks are, that's probably one of the more common racing lines. And so as long as you just kind of generally follow those, generally that's kind of the right area where you should be on the track. So the fastest way through this corner on the track is actually to cut this curb right here. The first time that we went through the track, it was absolutely soaking, and the instructor went over that curb. He was like, dude, this is super, super sketchy, but just fucking send it. So you can see here, like I was talking about earlier, I'm kind of on the right side of the track. And I think the racing line is really more on the left side of the track where the black marks are. If I'd have stayed on the left side, that would have allowed me to enter the corner a little bit later and then really get set up for the next corner and then for this straight a lot better. You can see somebody rips right past me just because I think they have a lot more quarter speed. And they're on, I think that's an S1000, and so that was never a fight I was going to win. At this point, I should really be downshifting in the second gear so that when I'm coming out of the corner, I'm set up to really drive out of it. But as you can see, we're still in the wrong gear. So the same thing is true here. I should be downshifting right now, probably all the way down to second gear. That way I'm just set up, ready to go as soon as I get out of the corner. This line isn't really terrible. I think the best way to take that corner is generally to go a little bit wide initially and then really hug the apex on the way out and get a good drive. So that wasn't bad, but again, it's just the wrong gear. So you can see this part's kind of indicative of the entire track day. I catch up to people on the straights, and then I stay with them a little bit, and then when we get to this corner exit, they just fly away from me because they're on the gas way sooner than I am. They're standing the bike up sooner, they're getting on the gas, and they have a much higher corner exit speed. For the second day of Sport Bike Track Time. Tech inspection is kind of winding up, getting ready for the driver's meeting, getting ready to get the day started. Whew. This is the second day. I didn't really film much the first day. The first day was wild. The first day it rained like half the day. I have very little experience riding in the rain, probably like 10 minutes before I went out and did the track on brand new tires, and it was downpouring. Like I said, yesterday was absolutely wild. There's like probably at least 10-15 bikes that went down, and at the end of the day, one person was knocked out on the track, and there's a track worker standing over them as they red flagged the session. So hopefully things go a little smoother today. We'll see. The weather seems to be pretty decent at the moment. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, it's not bad. It's overcast, so it kind of keeps the temperature down and keeps you from getting cooked by the sun. But yeah, hopefully the weather holds out, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll show you guys as much of it as I can. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. second to the last session of the day. I wish I could say that I made huge leaps and strides, but I will say I did figure some of this stuff out. Let's watch part of this session and see if we can't pick out some of the things that I got better at and some of the things that I still need work on. So right away it looks like I'm doing a little bit better. It looks like I'm getting off the line a little bit better. They still leave me behind, but it's better than it was before. Definitely not going to be doing any race starts anytime soon though. Okay, so here you can already see that I'm too far on the inside of the corner, which means that I'm going to apex way too early and I can't get a good drive out of the corner. Also, I think to some extent it's just kind of uncomfortableness with leaning the bike over on throttle. I think that's something that I'm just going to have to overcome over time. Okay, so here's an area of improvement. I'm downshifting before I get to the corner. I could probably actually downshift a little bit sooner than that, but I'm in the right gear when I come out of that corner, so that's improvement. So I'm braking a little bit later into this corner, and as you can see, I'm actually in the right gear. So I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. I'm starting to roll into the gas just a little bit sooner. I could probably actually manage to roll into it a little bit sooner than that. It'd probably force me to go a little bit wider, but that's fine. That's what the rest of the racetrack's there for, so. So I'm finally starting to get comfortable enough with the track that I'm really utilizing this straight as a straight. Before I was just kind of, I wasn't sure where to turn in, so I was kind of on a maintenance throttle, but I'm actually getting to full throttle now. This is definitely an area of the track where I can improve a lot. I'm just not comfortable enough with the track going over that blind corner to really track left and then sweep back right for this corner like a lot of the faster riders. Well, we are still super slow to this corner, but at least I'm in the right gear, so we're making progress. So there's some improvement on this corner. I'm braking a little bit later, and I'm kind of diving in on the inside of the track here a little bit, using a little bit more of the track. There's some improvement on this corner as well. I'm not over braking coming into it, and so I'm carrying more speed, and then I'm accelerating out of it even though I'm leaned over, which is something I had trouble with all day. And so this corner, you can see there's also some improvement. I'm accelerating all the way up the hill until the crest, and just at some point or another, it's kind of unnerving because you really can't see what's over the hill very well. You just have to have confidence that you know where the corner goes, and then just kind of pull the trigger and have faith that the bike will hold. So the last corner, you can see I actually downshifted all the way to first gear, and I got a lot better drive out of the corner. I'm still getting passed, but I'm getting passed on the straight rather than immediately after we come out of the corner. People are still passing me, but at least I'm making them work for it. Here's another corner that I struggled with all day long. Struggled with getting on the gas while leaned over. Still struggling with it a little bit, but I think it's marginally better. My guess is that's just one of those things that it's going to take some time to really gain the confidence. And here I am getting passed by people on both sides, and generally just getting the crap kicked at me by pretty much everybody. I'm reasonably confident that somebody who was like halfway competent on a Grom could probably lap me over the span of like 10 laps. But that's fine. I'm learning and I'm having a blast. So that's really, to me, that's all that matters. Well, I'm in the right gear, so it's a good start. but not quite good enough. Well, looks like all that good corner speed that we found on the last lap we seem to have lost again, but baby steps. But that's alright, because we did attack that blind hill, so. I think this must be the part of the day where I'm starting to get a little bit tired because we're in the wrong gear again, which you can tell because I'm about to get just absolutely left in the dust. Definitely not perfect, but we're moving in the right direction. This corner is kind of a good illustration. You can see how I'm not getting on the gas, and you can see how some of these other riders are just able to go around me so easily because they're getting on the gas through the corner sooner than I am. So this was pretty late in the day of the second day, and it was pretty hot out that weekend, and I think everybody was just kind of fatigued, and you can kind of tell that I'm starting to kind of lose the pace a little bit, starting to slow down, a lot more like maintenance throttle, a lot less late braking. That is the end of the lap. Definitely not the fastest, probably not the slowest, probably close. But at the end of the day, for a guy with less than 2 years of riding experience, not a bad, I don't think. I'll take it. I'm happy with it. We're definitely going to keep coming back, and for anybody who's thinking about doing a track day, I cannot recommend Barber highly enough. It's a really awesome track. There's some really cool corners, some really cool elevation changes, and the whole place is just immaculate. It is an amazing track. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we made it back in one piece. The Aprilia is still sticky side down and shiny side up, which I'm pretty ecstatic about. I showed you guys at the beginning that we just put new tires on this bike, so let me show you what they look like now. Barber is a clockwise circuit, and so you do more right turns obviously than left turns, so there's more wear and tear on the right hand side of the tires and the left hand side of the tires, but overall I think they look really pretty good. There's no bluing or anything like that indicates that the tire is overheated or there's any kind of like unusual wear patterns. So I think these tires will actually still be good to go for another couple track days, which is awesome, because we have another couple of track days coming up. We're going to be doing the Talladega GP in the middle of August, and then after that we're going to be doing the Labor Day weekend, I believe it is, at Barber, which is a 3-day weekend, which should be pretty interesting. 2 days was pretty exhausting, so we'll see how 3 days goes, fingers crossed. Then if those go really well, then we might do something special at the end of the year. We might do the Champs Pool as well, and so that would be awesome. I think bikes in general really expose your weaknesses. I think that you can have a slow driver in a fast car and still get pretty decent results, because modern cars these days really mask a lot of your bad habits or lack of skill, whereas motorcycles kind of amplify them. And so, you could be on a Ninja 400 and lap Barber seconds a lap ahead of somebody like me on this Ducati, just because, it's a fast bike, but without a fast rider, doesn't really work. So our goal is to get faster. Our goal is to get faster, become safer on the street, just become more skilled and more competent on a bike. That's going to be really kind of my big focus, I think, for the next year or so. And I'm actually in the process right now of potentially looking at picking up a dedicated track bike that, you know, it will be not even street legal, just purely for the track. So we'll see how that goes. We just hit 250 subscribers the other day, and we're actually still continuing to grow. So we're at the first quarter of 1,000, which doesn't sound like much, but I mean, everybody starts somewhere, right? And so I think, to me, it feels like a huge accomplishment. And so I just want to thank everybody who watches the channel. It's fantastic. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you guys. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. I think I'm going to end this one here. You guys ride safe, and I'll see you guys next time.